This segment brought to you by Kansas Corn. Learn more at kscorn.com.
I'm Lee Reeves from Garden City, Kansas. I'm part of a family-owned cattle feeding, farming, and ethanol operation that's been around for over 100 years. So I guess I've been in this business long enough to know that you never know what's coming down the pike. You know, we have very good times and very bad times in the industry. You just have to be in it for the long pull and plan for the long pull. We have the problems that seem to always be with us, and then there's always problems that crop up, like the fires that they had in south central Kansas, and like the blizzard we had in western Kansas that was the latest blizzard in history. You know, a lot of this aid for these disasters was grassroots aid, and the KLA through their Kansas Livestock Foundation created an umbrella where a lot of donations that came in could be redistributed. And that's one thing that we all learned, is that, boy, there's a lot of people that want to help on a disaster like that. Nobody was holding out their hand for government assistance. They just pulled themselves up by their bootstraps and went on down the road. We all need to be involved in these organizations, because acting together we have a lot more power than we do as individuals. And also, you know, we all need to spend some time, you know, address some of the issues that happen to us. Nationally, of course, it's the budget and the tax legislation that's floating through the Congress right now. And nobody knows what's going to happen, but it really will affect all of us in agriculture. So we sure need to keep an eye on it. Regulations are always a concern. And then, of course, all the state issues, you know, which are, a lot of those are financial issues, because Kansas always has budget problems. Water issues seem to be more important all the time. And you know, for literally generations, we've taken water for granted. And in the last few decades, we found out that it is finite. I mean, we only have so much, and so we have to serve. And there's been a huge focus on this, which, you know, I guess maybe it's a little closer to my heart than it would be to a lot of people, because this has been in the family for 3 or 4 generations. As you can imagine, if we run out of water, then it greatly affects us. However, you know, we've learned that if we're careful, if we're prudent, and we use this water very efficiently, then we hope to someday reach a point of stability. When you go through from one generation to another, this is something that literally I've heard it for the last 40 or 50 years, or virtually all my life, is the death tax. My parents talked about it, I talk about it, and we're very affected by it. What people don't realize, they say there's just relatively few people that are affected by it, but past that, there's lots of people that are affected by what they have to do to avoid it. And so we all end up buying insurance and doing a lot of things that aren't really good for the multi-generational business, but we just have to do it. We don't have any choice.
KFRM is one of the largest farm radio stations in the nation, dedicated to informing and entertaining rural listeners from northern Oklahoma to southwestern Nebraska. You can catch KFRM in many ways. Of course, 550 on the AM dial, streaming at kfrm.com, or on your smartphone by going to the TuneIn Radio app, or on Ag AM in Kansas on Tuesdays, and Facebook every day of the week. KFRM, tune us in. You'll be glad you did.